I think we can get started. These calls are going to be recorded, so the community uh, can view a replay. Okay, the month of February was super busy for us. We've been going through a lot of growth over the last few months. Since our fund raised last summer, the team has grown from just 3 people to over 25 now. In fact, our CFO joined today. We have another data engineer joining next week. We're just on this rapid growth phase, just in terms of the team. In terms of the number of projects, we've grown from just 5 projects to over 80 projects today. And that's pretty exciting because what is interesting about this is that these projects entrust us, entrust community, and entrust Covalent with their data needs. And this is a pretty big responsibility on our shoulders. And so there's no way to show our gratitude in how we're fulfilling those needs. You'll be hearing about some of these announcements in the next few weeks as we roll out a couple of programs. Besides that, I would say the Matic hackathon, which we started in collaboration with Eat India, just concluded last weekend. And I believe Harish is on here. Harish, if you, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but if you have a few words to talk about what the hackathon was, we've seen hundreds of devs really step up and build really innovative interfaces. So Harish, if you're up, if your mic is connected, it's all good. If you want to share a few words.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, we're super excited about our partnership with Matic and participating in the Etherpunk 2021 hackathon that just concluded. And it was building off of what we learned from the 1 million wallets campaign that we ran through Gitcoin back in December, and sort of taking it to another level with the focus on building dApps powered by the Covalent API and supporting not only the Matic network, but we saw some projects also leveraging what we call the Class A endpoints of our API to be able to support multiple networks. So that was really exciting. We'll have a formal announcement of the bounty prize winners, and we are looking forward to running more of these campaigns with other partners in the near future. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so this is templatized on our side. What this means is that we have the 1 million wallets that we run concurrently with one of our layer 1 partners. There is one planned for launch mid-March, so in 2 weeks from now. You'll hear an announcement with regards to that. That's also with a very well-known project in the space, L1 project. I'm talking like really, really big project. So stay tuned for that. On the community front, I think the ambassador program has just kicked off. We're calling it the Covalent Alchemist Ambassador Program because Alchemist, chemistry, covalent, bonds, orbitals, we just it's just a play on words. So Jackie, if you're available, a few words about the ambassador program.
Yeah, for sure. So we're pretty excited to have launched it. We're looking for a total of recruiting 25 handpicked selected people to basically play an extension of the team who will become alchemists. And the program is structured in a way where it's a lot about growth and development. And again, having you play as an extension of the team and just being able to grow together and work towards the same thing. We've gotten a lot of people interested in the program, probably up to almost 1,000 applicants, which is insane, and have received a lot of support on that front. And we're looking to see how we can definitely differentiate ourselves comparing to other ambassador programs that other people have been part of, and looking to potentially partner with another company in terms of being able to gamify that aspect. So we just have a lot of exciting things coming through, a lot of great feedback that we've received. and really excited to be announcing basically who our ambassadors are going to be probably by the start of next week, and sharing their stories on why they're excited, things that they're going to be doing, and really involving the community and building that and working towards, basically like the mission and vision and what Covalent is about, and showing people what we're doing. So yeah.
So I'm personally very excited to see this program launch, and Jackie and Niall and the team, they've shown the early cut to a bunch of insiders, which is insiders in the sense that people who have engaged with one of our prior hackathons, either the 1 million wallets or the previous Dungeons data. So here we see Emmanuel. I'm just going through the list here. We see Godsamix. We see Snowdot. These guys have been, since we opened up Covalent, they've been as an extended part of the team. So all of these guys are seeing, first cut of all the programs that are going out. They'll see all of our press. They'll see all the exciting news coming out. I think that's what it is. But it's more than that. I think we have a boot camp in-house, which is what we use to train employees. And by putting the Alchemist through this program, having a growth plan in place, this project becomes much more beyond than just Covalent, which is a very exciting place to be. So anyways, you'll hear news about that from Jackie and from Niall over the coming days. The third big exciting news is the Dungeons data. So we've been working behind the scenes very, very hard with Aave. The Aave is the number 2 DeFi protocol in the space. Super exciting. So that kicked off today. And we not only have the standard data science competitions where we would provide CSV files and teach you how to slice and dice the data. So this is a competition, but the thing is to have fun, and the thing is to learn how to use pivot tables and build compelling data visualizations with the data. So pretty excited about that. But it's not just for data nerds, as we like to call our community affectionately. It's also for people who want to do, who want to express their creativity through art, through puzzles, through quizzes. We ran this in the fall of last year, and we saw over 5,000 people participate in the Dungeons data. So this is one of our flagship campaigns. So Harish, what's in store for us over the coming weeks? Harish, you there? Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, we're super excited to be launching the next iteration of Dungeons and Data with Aave, the second biggest protocol in the world in the DeFi space. And so we've got a series of puzzles coming up, which anybody can be involved in. It's definitely geared to the general community. The first one drops at 4 p.m. UTC tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And if you go to the D&D website, you'll see that we've got a pretty extensive events calendar set up there. So have a look through all the different things that are going to be taking place. We've got webinars with great speakers. We've got obviously the challenges, and we've also got some office hours set up. So we'll be actively working and supporting the community with any questions or issues they may have going through the campaign.
Awesome. Thank you, Harish. Okay, so that's the big update from Covalent and what's going on with all of our marketing campaigns. On the product front, we've been investing heavily into the NFT space. So if you look at any of the products out there like Zapper or Frontier, all of their NFT balances come from Covalent. And so we really want to open up that space because there are some structural disadvantages of how these contracts are built. And I think it's just an artifact of time. Now in 2021, we understand how these data structures need to be built. But back in 2017, when CryptoKitties was coming on the scene, none of these things were well understood. And so we just have to have workarounds. But you can see over the last few weeks, the whole NFT space has just exploded. So we'll have a lot of exciting things in terms of APIs, in terms of support, in terms of feature sets on the product side. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the high level update, the community update. I think we can open up the floor to questions. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, Niall.
Yeah, just a quick one. I think it'd be interesting to touch on. So we touched on the 1 million wallets and what's being done there. I think it'd be interesting to touch on the actual applications that are being built out using the Covalent API and what we're seeing there.
In terms of the hackathon or in terms of the actual applications?
Yeah, in terms of the hackathon, because we've seen the likes of GoSwap and stuff arise.
Absolutely. I think Harish can give more color on that because they're still under consideration for the winning prizes. So Harish, if you can share some of the projects that are being built.
Yeah, we'll definitely share a link. We've actually started sort of a showcase or a profile page on on Discord, where we're going to have links to all the live projects that are utilizing the Covalent API. So we saw a handful of them come out of the Etherpunk. We've been seeing other projects being built even outside of any of these campaigns, which is really exciting. And we'll have sort of a formal showcase of all these projects, including blog posts and sort of an underlying sense of how the Covalent API was able to help them, and what we can do to further improve and empower the community and entrepreneurs to continue building using the Covalent API.
Thank you. So I'm pretty excited for Covalent, this community, the whole blockchain crypto space in general. And are there more questions?
I've got a quick question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just looking at the landing page, the homepage for Covalent's website, and I'm just wondering how you see yourselves positioned. I guess is the word to use, compared to something like Dune Analytics, Parsec, etc., or maybe in comparison more to the Graph.
That's a great question. So first, out of the bat, Parsec uses Covalent's APIs. So we consider them as a partner, not as a competitor. We are trying to get Dune Analytics to use Covalent. And so we are not really a end user facing product. So with Dune Analytics, you write in the SQL and then you create the charts and you share the charts. That's the workflow for Dune. For Covalent, it's an API product. So the closest analogy there would be WhatsApp versus Twilio. WhatsApp is what our parents would use. Twilio is what developers would use. So I would say that is the biggest difference between Parsec, Dune, and Covalent. The question with the Graph is a very interesting question. So we are both solving the same problem. We're enabling developers to build more sophisticated and data-rich interfaces. And we solve this problem where it's very hard to get data from the blockchain. But how we approach the problem solving, how our philosophy revolves around it, are completely different. So with the Graph, it's best to explain this with an analogy. So with the Graph, you can think of it as each subgraph being an Excel sheet. And each Excel sheet has its own custom formatting. Maybe the titles are bolded, maybe the fonts are different, maybe the aggregation columns are a different color. So each one is tuned specifically for that application. And so you have hundreds of these subgraphs which correspond to hundreds of these different protocols. Covalent's approach is to build a single database with all of the data on the blockchain. So we literally have a database, a Postgres database with 100 billion rows of data, and which has every single balance, every single position, every single transaction, every single log event, everything that's on the blockchain. So it's a complete replica of the Ethereum blockchain, for example. And this is a lot of data, but this is how you're able to essentially create pivot tables on the underlying database and serve the data for a variety of use cases. So it's not like you're creating a subgraph for Uniswap for taxation and a subgraph for Uniswap for wallets and so on. Here, it's the same data that is just formatted differently at query time for the different use cases. And this is why if you look at the number of products that are building on Covalent, it's a lot wider. It's a lot more diverse. So an example here is the wallet use case. So the wallet use case, the first use case is give me a list of every ERC20 balance that is in my wallet. This is a question that is impossible to build for the graph. And in Covalent, it's one API call that returns in 300 milliseconds. So that's a high level what's going on with Covalent versus the graph. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that was really good. Thanks.
We are having a major brand refresh going on right now. What has happened with Covalent is we bootstrapped the company over the first 2.5 years. So we've underinvested in design and branding and all those things that matter. Now, as more and more eyeballs fall on us, as our community grows, I think it's important to step up and dress for the job that we want. So over the next few weeks, we're going to have a complete brand refresh rollout, and questions like this would be much clearer.
Cool. Thanks, Ganesh. I gotta take off, but this was really good to hear. Thanks, and good luck.
Thanks, Derek. Fantastic. Okay, that was the February update, March town hall. Excited for what's in store, and let's keep the conversation going on Telegram and Discord and DMs and Twitter and email and all the different channels. We have a lot of exciting things coming down the pipe. Thanks, everyone, and see you next month.
Thanks, everyone.
Ciao.
All right, bye everyone.